This is a record called Life in the Romantic. The cover is a picture of me in the basement of the house where I was living in Nashville. And I had a little, my studios kept shrinking as time went on. So this was a little studio set up in the basement of the house in Nashville. Wrote and recorded this record. And, the cover, I remember the inspiration for the cover. There was some kind of ad with Keith Richard. I don't remember what the product was, but it had this cool kind of lighting and a lot of airspace up top, and so I wanted to kind of recreate the feeling more than the imagery. But from the romantic songs, or what's on here, Morning Song is the first song on this record. It's a song about waking up, and the first action of the day would be to thank God for the day and say a little prayer over the day. And interesting thing about this might be the first song where Johnny Swimmer is singing background on something for me. And then Love is Sacrifice, the title says it all. On this record I had Mimi sing backgrounds, and she does a really sweet job at it. Glass of Red in the Sunset. This song I produced at a studio called the Firehouse in Pasadena, and I did it with my buddy engineer Bernie Becker. Greg Matheson on keyboard, Abraham Laboriel on bass, Bill Maxwell on drums, sax player in Jeff Scott Wills. So we cut a Glass of Red in the Sunset there. The music video was shot by my daughter Brooklyn and my son-in-law Mike, following me along Pacific Coast Highway in my Maserati, little two-seat Maserati that was a Christmas present from Donna in 2005. And I'm still driving that car. Next song, Beyond Forever, produced by Sebastian Aroca Morton, good buddy of mine, tremendous producer and composer for many films that I don't know the names of. I co-wrote that song with Sebastian and another friend of mine whose name is Al Kasha. Al Kasha is also now deceased, but he was a good buddy of mine for many years, won a couple of Oscars for song The Morning After, and then some stuff from Pete's. So he would always say, "Hi, I'm Al Kasha. I'm a two-time Oscar winner. So that was Beyond Forever. That video also includes some footage of my first trip to Sardinia. Went to Sardinia to do a show there. Took some footage. Okay. It's Her Wedding Day is the next song. It's Her Wedding Day ultimately became like a very chart-topping adult contemporary song. And it was a song that I wrote. It was produced by a friend of mine in Nashville. His name is Nathan DeJezer. We recorded it at his studio. He did the track and the arrangement, wrote the song. And it was a song that I wrote about my daughter Brooklyn's wedding, but the video shows footage of Amanda's wedding, so it basically covers any daughter in the world. Turn Me On, Off the Hook. I was thinking about this song today, and I was thinking that Turn Me On, Off the Hook, because the chorus starts with the line, take the phone off the hook. And I was like, that song wouldn't even apply anymore, because if nobody understands taking the phone off the hook anymore, I assume. The Sweetest Thing is a song that I wrote in Antwerp. Donna and I were living in a castle for 6 or 8 weeks, I don't remember. She was doing shows at a thing called Night of the Proms, which is basically there's an arena, and for weeks there's a lineup of shows. So Donna was headlining this, and we were doing that. So we were in Antwerp for 6 or 8 weeks that year, and that's where I wrote The Sweetest Thing. It was fall, and I remember we were in this castle in this bedroom, and yeah. Rainy Day Soul, which is the title of the previous album that I don't think I had written the song when I came up with that, but it's basically a song like I always have had the tendency to be melancholy. I have this melancholy cloud that, if I allow it, can descend on me, and I get into this headspace of what I call rainy day soul. And when I was younger as an artist, I thought, that I should embrace this because it was part of my artist temperament, and it, you know, and I kind of bought into that whole scenario. And then I got to a point where I realized that I have a choice, and I don't have to accept that melancholy, that I could say, oh, I see that you're here, I recognize you, but I'm not going there. So that's kind of about what Rainy Day Soul is about. Get Serious is a song, because still at this time when I made this record, you know, Fugitive Kind was 1980. It's now, you know, 2008 or something when I'm doing this. And I was still hedging my bets on getting myself back in a real way into pursuing a career. I hadn't never done anything live. I was just in the studio writing these songs and putting out these things. So Get Serious was a song that, it's actually a cool song, and I think I should do it live sometime. I was just telling myself, if you're gonna do this, you know, it's about time you got serious again. So that's that. Amazing Amanda Grace, a song about my amazing Amanda Grace daughter. I have 3 daughters, Mimi, Brooklyn, and Amanda. And Donna had done a song, a Mimi song, and then on one of her later albums, she did a song called Brooklyn. So Amanda was the one that, in that sense, didn't get her song. So I decided that, you know, it wasn't Mom doing it, was Dad, but it paints a pretty good picture of the depth of soul and personality that Amanda is. Life in the Romantic, appropriately titled.